Hi everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Hype, the live blog of travel and hospitality. This is going to be the last probably live streaming of the year. Christmas is around the corner and we are all excited to go on holidays very soon, I hope. For the topic of this last episode, I wanted to take back something which is, I would say, a vintage topic. We always discuss about.
Evergreen, an evergreen.
It's an evergreen topic, and it's about direct versus rest of the world. The title is a little bit provoking, but basically we are trying to, share through those expert leaders in the industry some insights and suggestion for hoteliers that are looking to invest more or not, or get more clarification about the opportunity of increasing direct booking share. So with me today we have Adrian. Adrian, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, Enzo. Thank you very much for having me. So I've worked at DH for the last 12 years. I am in charge of the global business development of the agency of DH. So basically, all about direct distribution. So I hope I'm the right person to speak on that topic.
Definitely you are. That's why. Well, I mean, you are sitting on the wrong table at the wrong time. Right. Next one, Nicola, my friend from Italy.
Hello, thank you, Enzo, for the invitation. I'm really proud to be on stage with all my colleagues here. I'm Nicola. I'm Educate International Development Manager. I spent the last 12 years in Simple Booking, a famous CRS system. And honestly, it's 25 years I'm facing distribution problems and opportunities on IT market and worldwide scenario, and I'm really proud to share my ideas and listen customer opinions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicola. And last but not least, Pier Giorgio.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pier Giorgio Schirru from Blastness. And in Blastness, our mission is helping hotel to develop their business. How? In two ways, helping them to developing their revenues and their direct bookings. So I think I'm in the right webinar. How do we do it? Providing software, providing consultancy, and providing a partnership scheme. And me too, I'm happy to be here in this, let's say, Christmas Evergreen Live with my competitors, also by friends, happy to share some very nice ideas.
Thank you, Giorgio. Right, my first question, which was not shared with you, this is going to be a surprise. Are you going holidays, guys? Are you going holiday?
What's the definition of holiday, Enzo?
I mean, if you are going holiday, how those hotels are going to, survive without you? That is a joke. But the first question is a little bit tricky. Okay, I'll try to make this conversation, straight to the point. I don't want, go too much around and be polite. My first question, I will raise this on the screen. This way, everyone can contribute. Actually, guys from the audience, if you like to share your opinion, feel free to put your comments on LinkedIn. And if you have some interesting question to raise to those speakers, I will revert your question and make sure that we can provide some feedback. So my first question is: let's imagine one of your hotel is working with one of the most important OTA like Booking.com, and one of your hotel clients is kicked out from Booking.com from a day to another. How much would the hotel revenue suffer? And what do you suggest as a backup plan for an hotel that is working with Booking.com that tomorrow is not there anymore? Right. Let's start with Adrian.
Straight to the point, huh? Actually, that's the hard one. But we can try. We can try. Let's take the assumption. Of course, the first, and to be serious, the idea is it depends on the impact of that OTA on the contribution to the revenue of the property. You can have some properties that are super dependent on OTAs and some properties that are way less dependent. So that's the first factor. Seasonality is definitely a factor, of course, because the timing of that disconnection impacts a lot of things. I would not underestimate, not the billboard effect, but the substitution, which is kind of the counterpart, is to say that the guest who would have booked through Booking might still book either directly with the hotel or through another channel at some point. So there is not 100% loss over there. Um, that's for, I will say, the context. Now to actually answer on the backup plan, I don't have any backup because there is no backup for that. There are some mitigation strategies, okay, so ways to make less of an impact. The first is to make sure, first and foremost, to actually be less dependent as much as possible of the OTAs in general. So it goes with a very easy phrase, but very hard to put in place, which is to strengthen the direct booking channels. So that's today's topic, of course. So that I understand now and the way you ask it as the first question, of course. So the idea is to have a good website, very strong on SEO, of course, be visible on SEM. So buying keywords, protecting the brand. Meta search is a key component because if you have a direct distribution strategy, that's one of the easiest way to make that guest understand that you have a strategy. And then you have CRM and email marketing.
Okay.
Once you do that, to be fair, and so afterwards you can diversify with other distribution channels. You can put GDS wholesalers, other OTA, put some many more aspects to your mix, etc. But I think, to be fair, losing an OTA so big as Booking.com will have a negative impact. But the extent of the impact will vary on many aspects, and I hope it's today's topic is to see what's the level of impact we can try to answer that question. Was it good?
Yeah, yeah. I think a good point. Maybe also
Yeah.
probably the right way to phrase this question would be, how would you prepare if in the future this happen? I mean, I think it's if this is
Yeah,
coming
yeah. You're
tomorrow,
right. It's
the
more,
hotel did not prepare a plan.
it's a
This is
matter
a
of
very
planning,
bad. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
matter of
What?
planning, I guess, and obviously then depends also by the OTA. We are talking of Booking.com, Expedia as a fact, and I said a niche OTA is something else. But I think that everything like in life is a matter of planning. So I think that one is of my biggest advice is to work on having a right balance, something that I usually call sustainable distribution. So having a right balance between direct and indirect bookings, even because having booking from OTA, it's something that has to be inside a sales plan, but also it's very important to don't have an extreme dependency, so that you can mitigate this situation if it happens. I always think it's better it doesn't happen, but the best thing is having the right mix for the right hotel, and also for the right I would say lifetime cycle of the sales. It's obviously if you are a hotel that already just opened, you will be more dependent on the OTAs. But I totally agree that one of the main points is working on your direct clients and on the and keeping them loyal to the brand.
Good point. Good point. What do you think, Nicola?
Well, first of all, I completely agree with Adrian and Pier Giorgio because they resumed all the main points. What I can add by my point is, you know, no Booking.com for many hotels, no party, because will be a loss of visibility. You cannot easily compensate with the direct marketing activities and so on, because it by my point of view, it depends about the unique sales or proposal of the property. First of all, reputation. By my point, I think first 10 properties in Traveler Choice list in TripAdvisor for any destination, they do not need visibility brought by billboard, so famous, Cornell University stated the billboard effect. But if your reputation is not so strong, so you are not one of the top requested property into the location, then you have to face a larger problem. As well, then your brand, whenever you do not have a very strong brand awareness into the location or the type of city you are, it will be even worse. And finally, the location. Well, let's imagine in a small town on the Alps or somewhere in Europe, you are thrown away from booking.com. Okay, at least on searching on Google, even on SERP results, you have a chance to promote yourself with unbranded campaigns and so on via metas, as Adrian said. I completely agree. But if you are a classic middle-sized three-star hotel in Paris, somewhere in the surrounding, would be really difficult to get visitors on the official website because you are no one. Mm. So as more you have a positioning, as more you are different by your surrounding competitors or city competitors, more you have possibility to get a chance to get a direct visibility. If the anonymous hotel with an anonymous level of reputation
He's gonna be
could,
in trouble. He's gonna be
yeah,
in trouble. He's gonna be in
Yeah,
serious
I
trouble.
guess you're
finding
gonna be in trouble even anyway because they are a commodity,
they
But
are in
without
trouble later
without
on.
an OTA, it's even worse. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
agree. You have to work sooner or later. You have to work on your USP and your clients, your loyal clients.
Let's see what Corrado is asking here. Could it be a good strategy to decide to sell on notas at an average rate of 12 to 15% higher than direct sales, applying the price increase exclusively to the OTA and not to wholesalers, to give the latter greater sales opportunity? The question arises because users who search on OTAs either stick on their preferred OTA or try to buy directly, while agency looking through wholesaler find rates comparable to direct sale, but with their commission already included. Any point you want to reply to Corrado, guys?
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I can open the discussion, but like I would like also to not go one way, so we're opening to ideas. My point that it can be a point. Let's say from my experience, even something that we actually kind of creating is something that we call dual revenue management, which to make it very simple, according to our experience to drive direct bookings, what you really need are two different strategies, no? One for direct bookings and one for indirect bookings. This can be a point, having applying different prices. From what is my experience, it's not only a matter of entry level price, it's a matter of what you're selling. No, it's something a kind of example I always do is like when you go to fashion brand and when you go to an outlet, either you go to the store and obviously, when I go to an outlet, I will buy some kind of items which are not exactly the same that I will find in a boutique store, which is like the direct website. So, but at the same time, all the big brands they are inside the malls because it's a way to get new clients, to get closer to the brand, maybe even buy a lower price. But when you become loyal, and for example, I would like to say I'm a Burberry guy, then after I go in the store and I pick a Burberry tie, but maybe the first times I found it in the mall. So on some way, it's also a strategy of new acquisition, the OTA, and I think that they really can work well together. But what they do, the brands, is they have this dual approach, total, not only in the entry level. And sometimes I would even say maybe the client that goes on OTA deserves a lower price because you need to catch it. And so you have the cost of acquisition that's on the OTA. But if you have become good in your strategy, you have to keep the redemption of the client once that they get in your hotel. This is, let's say, my point of view, and I'm very curious to know what Adrian and Nicola think about this.
no, it's a good approach. I agree. Let's say that I'm not so sure because of price discrepancy. This is always a hot topic by my point. Um, Applying as a price surcharge to main OTAs, okay, you will guarantee a better direct rate, and then keeping wholesalers with the same rates, I see could be a good move, a good step. because of their relationship. You need them in order to balance your distribution mix. And this way, and even the ones booking through that channel as well, then, for example, GDS, they will never book directly. I mean, from the website. I'm quite sure. While OTAs, they do represent a kind of, a communication channel. This is their most important role. Of course, they bring you a lot of revenues, but mostly they will promote your visibility, your brand, your hotel on the listing. And I'm not so sure about the price discrepancy because a lot of our clients, if clients I'm following, they sell on the direct booking engine more expensive than OTA. Because they say, as soon they saw my price on booking.com, 250 euro per night, then going switching to my official website, three people, three person on four, they go visiting the, at least for leisure stays, they go visiting the official website. If they come, it means they are ready to pay 250.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
have
I
to?
agree. It's a matter. We have on our general big data, usually we have 20% more average revenue, not only given by the entry level price, but also by the mix. As what I was saying before, actually, I will go to the barbery shop because the tie that I like, I will never find in the mall. And
Mm-mm.
so they have a higher revenue. So yes, I find myself in agreement.
I know.
Let's do something, guys, because I want to make sure that I've been analyzing the past hotels when I was providing consultancy, and the hype of direct booking was, stronger than actually the cost of acquisition. And when we were drilling down to the analysis, I've seen hotels happy to have a big share on direct booking, but when we then went down to the data, the cost of acquisition for a direct booking was higher than the commission the hotel was paying to an OTA. So the next question is, what fixed and variable cost components should be considered when calculating the cost of acquiring a customer through direct sales? Adrian.
Yeah, perfect. That will help me answer the previous question in a few words also because the two are bundled. I think it's not a matter of what price you want to put. It's about first understanding what rooms and rates you actually sell on each channels. My experience and our data show that OTAs tend to sell the cheapest available rooms and rates by the vast majority, while direct distribution and GDS, for example, tend to sell, I will say, more expensive rooms and more, I will see, flexible rates with extras and stuff like that. So the matter of the pricing is not about what exactly you want to price the same products on the different channel, but decides what channel you want to sell what product. And once you have figured that out, then you will have some scenario when this room is actually cheaper on direct distribution channels, while the other is cheaper on OTAs. That's a dynamic way of thinking about distribution your product, and that is going to be different hotel by hotel. So, to answer the question, the fixed and variable cost components, um, they're they're like really easy to answer. To be fair, it's about having technology cost, marketing cost, and human cost, staff cost. So whenever you try to compare, it's important to factor in these as cost, but it's more than cost usually because a direct relationship with a customer is about the value, and I think it's Pier Giorgio that mentioned that a few minutes ago. Is to say the OTAs are very good at acquiring the guests for the first time, and the direct should be the aim, the end game of the hotel, creating that relationship, that direct relationship. And in that area, it's not about the absolute cost, it's about the value proposition that you can give to someone by booking direct. Of course, it can cost you some money, but it will always cost you money because the competitors of yours will have costs in place to get that guest from you. So it's never free. It's just about understanding what you are willing to do, and then, yeah, of course, factor in the reality, technology, marketing, people. Of course, try to find a good balance for your property or properties, but it's also just to ask yourself, am I willing to pay a bit more to get that person direct? Because I have in place the system that makes sure that this person might come back, and if that person come back, then it will be a direct
Cost
booker.
would be much lower.
Yeah.
And Giorgio, what would be, from your point of view, the right, if we put this in percentage, okay? What do you think will be the break-even point for a direct booking cost in percentage?
Yeah, this is, thank you for the question. I thought that we all said that the difficult question for Adrian, but
I am very happy that you have this one, dear Giorgio.
I already did pick two, so the next one is on Nicola. I would say, obviously, the first answer that I always like to give is it depends. But let's say, I think that a right cost of acquisition should be something that is around half or less than half than what you pay to an OTA. So something that can go between 5-10%. I think that this can be sustainable in a long term. And but what I always like to say is that I think that direct and indirect they work well together. I'm following also what Adrian was saying before. I liked it very much. That for me the perfect point is when get a first client which doesn't even know me, and he gets to me through the OTA, because in that point the cost of acquisition is a lot on them. But the real challenge then is to keep it with us, and keep it for a long term. It's something that economically is called the lifetime value of a client, which I think that in the hospitality world is not only connected to the direct client, but also to the recommendation that they bring. Because we know that a lot of independent hotels, they might not have repetitive clients that come there every month, but they might have people that they give advice to. And this one are a big important component of direct bookings. And I also think that one of the pain points in the calculation of the cost of direct booking and indirect booking is it's inside two little things that we never consider. Because I really feel that yes, there's the commission, the famous 20%, but sometimes it can be some, let's say, fugazi, some smoke in the eyes, because it's a big cost, but actually not that big when you have to think you have to acquire it as the first time for a client that doesn't know you. And many times it would never know you, or will never come to you if there wasn't be the stamp of the certificate of validation of booking.com. But on another side, there are two effects. First of all, a client that books you on an OTA will have a 50-60% cancellation. And for the people that are revenue managers like me, this is a disaster. And imagine you have 100% of your clients canceling a 60% rate. This is a problem. And second thing that goes back to the relationship is that that kind of client is a client that stays in your hotel, but it's not your property. It's property of booking.com. They're doing their, or an OTA, they're doing their job, their role. They will switch it to the best hotel, the best convenience in the best moment. So I always say it's a matter of the ownership of the relation with the client. And this is something that is not inside the famous 20%, but it should be put inside the cost of acquisition.
Nicola,
Yeah, thank you. Well, I completely agree with my colleagues here. Yeah, they focus at the most important points. By my point, so highlighting the value, and not only the cost of the direct guest, but coming back to the cost point of view, by our calculation, the average direct sales cost is reservation cost is something around 10% at minimum. The CPA, the cost per acquisition as digital marketing, considering a holistic investment, so Google ecosystem as well, then remarketing and as well, then social media investments. On average, it depends, of course, the impact of your average rate, and category, but we see it's around 7-8%. Then you should add some technology costs, now not so relevant, so recurring, like annual fees and so on. You can imagine standing at least at the 10%, then up to 12%. This is the real through cost.
this is a
But
reasonable. This is reasonable.
let's discuss a bit to the true cost of acquisition through OTA. That is not 15, this is not 18. even much more, no, because hidden costs. So you do have a genius, you have a super promotion, you have a special deal, hot
Yeah,
deals, mobile
VIT,
deals,
VIT that Maurizio Dotti was
VAT.
writing. Yeah.
So I just remember, just to mention a blog I like a lot by Mirai. I saw no a nice last year nice calculation, exact calculation of acquisition costs through some of the largest OTA no name, and there was something around 25%. So roughly you will go half of the
Yeah, because
price.
at the end, you have to include apart the commission, also the technology and human factor at the
Yeah,
end. So,
the
and
main
this
issue
Yeah,
is for,
yeah, and the discounts, as you were saying, yeah, sure, the
discounts, yes,
discounts,
of course.
if you have to pay through them, the add-on discounts when they pay direct. I mean, that's yeah, 18 is let's say it's the starting point. It's the
and
base.
for the end, at the end of the day, and so my point of view is hoteliers they are already paying for such advertising. You know what they have to do to promote the official brand.com website because it's drowned into the commission fee cost they are paying. The main difference is they pay up front if they want to push their direct channel. Simply they start to pay before getting reservation, and the logic OTA, the dream OTA are selling. You do not pay anything, and you just get the revenues. So just the main effort is jumping on the other side. Do not see it only as cost, as Pier Giorgio and Adrian they said, and properly I completely agree. And start to invest before getting sales. That each company
That's
in other markets they do.
that's the point, Igor. In fact, the next question is actually the right question I should have raised for first. If a direct booking is truly the goal, what measurable steps have you suggested to hotels to reduce dependency on intermediaries? Because at the end, if tomorrow Booking.com kick out an hotel, if they have been planning in advance this issue, probably it's like when you do revenue and you start with the bottom price and the price goes higher, then you get to the check-in date and you recognize that your hotel is 50% empty, and what you do, you drop down the price. That means that you have planned it very wrongly, the price adjustment. So somehow, Adrian, what would be the right way to mitigate a possible problem in the future with OTA?
Yeah, I think the first and foremost is to look at with with a bit of an hybrid view of the reality of the distribution of the property as it stands, make like a proper audit of what works and what doesn't work. Try to understand if you actually can increase easily or stabilize your mix by just putting some simple actions by adding some more TAs to the mix or not going too crazy, just a few easy revenue management steps. That's an easy one, but that's a good one. And then you go into the rabbit hole of the direct distribution, which is about an infinite list of topics coming from, for example, the quality of the website. People tend to underestimate the quality of the website. Quality doesn't mean cost. Quality means loading, quality of the content, the simple navigation aspects. I mean, if you are willing to send people to your website, there should be a positive experience for the future guest. Because then they usually go to the booking engine and then they learn about your prices basically. But the website is not yet about that. It's about the property, what it has to offer. And I have even in Christmas 2024, I still have so many hotels with websites that are not designed for their property. I will say it like that. That they have been advised on the by choice of website. Putting a video for a city hotel that will have slow speed and that doesn't bring any added value, particularly because you just have a drone flying into the lobby and you're like, yeah, but it's a city hotel and that's not the main USP. I mean, you get the point.
I
So,
remember once, Pier Giorgio, was discussing with you, and you were saying if you go on a hotel website and the hotel website takes more than I don't remember how many seconds to download, you lose the clients, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What also
Just to
Adrian was
confirm what
saying.
Adrian was saying, no?
Yeah, I think usually we have some several golden actions, and when it comes to direct booking, even if it's something now that looks old, but it's the entry point. You need a website, and you don't need the website. I saw, and we create more than 300 projects per year. Many times the starting point is I have to have the nicest website of the world, and then up ends up like Adrian was saying, but I think that one, the website is your cache, is your cache machine. So really has to be done in a technical way to help selling. And one point to come to KPIs that we always monitor is the speed test. Basically, we advise that a website today must have the Google speed test above 90%. And the second point, when you have let's say, the house that is running, you need people to get inside. And the other point where we were touching was doing advertising. Obviously, I understand that doing advertising is not easy because doing advertising has a cost, and the cost can become high, and at some point can go out of control. You might have cost of acquiring the client that is much higher than the OTAs. For that reason, our response was, to the market to this matter is using dynamic algorithms that can help you to keep under control the cost acquisition to make it sustainable, because it doesn't make sense to have a direct booking if it costs you 40%. But it has sense if you stay in a range. There was one that we were saying before, something between 8%, 12%. And it's what we try to do with algorithm and with systems. Third point is revenue management, because once you get on the website, you like it, it's fast, then it comes to prices. And if your prices are not good, everything is, can I say, fucked up? It's fucked up. So I always say the revenue managers have a very important point. They have the opportunity to multiply the energy that digital marketing put it, or they can destroy everything. And here that comes what I was saying before, what we call dual revenue management, having the perfect scheme to make the most out of the conversion of the visitors that come on the website. And this can mean sometimes having good prices, but mainly, as we were saying, is having the right products to sell on the website to the people that you're trying to acquire. And this, I think, is the perfect combination of things that you need to maximize your direct bookings.
Do you agree, Nicola?
Yeah, of course, of course. I see. Again, I completely agree. Difficult to disagree with such specialist guys. But let me add my 2 cents. Uh, First of all, we do suggest to be where the eyes of your guests they are looking for you. In a nutshell, do what OTAs they are doing, because they do what you do in a very good way. They manage, they handle the advertising, any point, touch point, the digital touch point has been managed nowadays by OTAs. You should the same, because the recipe is very simple. Do what they do with your direct brand. Secondly, let's say by my point of view, you have to manage digital marketing within the revenue management. No more two streams, two type of activities, different people, but get closer, because it makes no sense invest so much money if your digital marketing website and so on they are not so good as well. Then rates and price per quality they are not so good. You waste your money. So you can get the best marketing and then getting worse rates and no competitive rates and no efficient rates and so on. And even category of rooms, so many items, and topics you can manage to get the best receipt, the best results. It's a matter of, it's a complex, because there is not a story, a unique story. Each hotel has its own solution, but improve your price per quality, revenue and marketing together, and do what OTAs they do.
Good point. Good. I agree. I guess at the end of the day, they are the masters. Why we should invent something when it's already there? But now,
Exactly.
Adrian, what happened to a smaller hotel that don't have the budget or tech expertise to compete with intermediaries? I mean, And this is a common case. I mean, at least in Southern Europe, we know that is very fragmented, the market. So we have a lot of family management hotels, beautiful hotel, boutique hotel, 40, 50, 60 rooms, managed by a family. And try to explain them what to do, how to do it, and but then they come back to you, and then we don't have the budget. First, is the right pushback from the hotel saying I don't have the budget? I mean, if I pay 20% to OTA, this is part of the budget, right? But anyway, what would be your suggestion?
I think you just did it. I think the idea is to understand what part of your current mix are you willing to shift. If you are willing to shift a fraction of your current mix, then you won't be able to do anything despite the budget that you may invest, because if it's not just strategy. You could spend a lot of money, and I know that Facebook and Google will be very happy to take your money. But if it's not the strategy that you want to have, it won't work. So there is no magic wand, but the size of the property matters, because the size of the property makes the offer, and the offer matches the demand. It's very standard law of distribution, and you have a critical number of rooms that can be leveraged with direct distribution efficiently. Um, been doing that for over a decade, and my experience shows that for less than 25 rooms, it's super difficult to create real impact on your direct distribution if and only if you are not the most amazing hotel of the place. Because of course, if you are that jewel, the jewel of your destination, you basically don't need OTAs at some point. But back to what Nicola said before, if you are an average hotel in a crowded destination in terms of offer, um, then it's very hard to put everything or anything in place. So there are some few tactics that you can use. You can go to Google free booking links. You can, of course, there are a few things that you can do, but I think that you rely on the OTAs hardly, and that you need to be very good at responding to the reviews that you have, because it's your family business, so you should be very attentive about that. And in the long term, the service and the quality of service will be your differentiator. It will not be about your distribution strategy or mix or the quality of your revenue management. It's going to be first about your service, because if you are a small property, that's the difference, the quality of the service and the relationship that you can put. If you
Of
have
course.
that, then in time, you will build your own direct clientele, and it will be better.
Good point. I mean, if you have a good idea, even if you're a small hotel, maybe you can sustain that. Maybe up your Giorgio, you have some reference of your clients, a smaller property that
Yeah,
you feel.
yeah. Actually, it's the typical Italian hotel, no? When I say our average client has 50 rooms. So on one side, I totally understand both the fact that it's a family-owned hotel, so it's their property, and the fact that from one side, it's difficult to find the right people and keep them attracted. So, because from one point of view, it's a matter of having software and technology. Today, it's a central part having this technology, but it's also a matter of how you use it. And this is really not easy. How to use it and how to make it work. Actually, the what we do and what is my advice is, if you're a smaller hotel, you might have the right partners to do this. And this is even the reason why we are in our mission. We both provide software, but also have a very big consultancy branch, because if you don't understand the need of the hotel and you're not able to put it in place, obviously they will be very diffident to spend money, because they don't understand that that is an investment, because they see it exactly as a cost. So the turning point is instead helping the hotel to start this process as an investment that gets paid, let's say, as fast as it can, to make them understand that it's something that the first they started, the better it is. even because if not, at a certain point, as also Alberto was writing, at a certain point it's too late. You're out of the game. And no, with no kind of investment, you can go back. You just can't sell your property because it's underrated.
Nicola, I know that Simple Booking is providing globally the CRS solution. Uh, you based in Florence. The company was created in Florence, and in Florence is plenty of small properties, right? And
A
of
lot.
course, Simple Booking is not the cheapest CRS out there. How do you justify the cost of Simple Booking?
No, it's very difficult. This is a
It's
spicy
to
question. May
Nicola.
I
It's
answer?
Nicola the
May
justification.
I reply in a separate room? But regarding smaller hotels, yeah, we do deal a lot with the small properties worldwide, as my colleagues they do. Mm, I completely agree. What I see here is a space for technology. I saw during last BTO some solutions are coming because small hotels the lack is budget, or let's say understanding why you have to invest, even the budget amount, as well then revenue management skills. So considering now I don't see any more marketing, digital marketing and revenue management as two different strategies or activities. I see unique activity. And technology, it's a game changer. And here I see a wide market because there are so many properties into this market segment of small sized properties in at least in European landscape. And I saw some technology solutions coming, arranging automatically, creating for you your digital brand campaigns, depending by the demand and the question and the queries on your direct booking engine or your OTA, the type of reservation, your occupation on your PMS. So creating or stopping on your behalf campaigns, as well then some activities. This is something you do not need a digital marketing agency, because with the 15 rooms hotel you cannot pay the consultant as well. No, you have no time to see your reports, you have no mindset. But technology here, and I see AI coming, will change the game. I mean, will open the possibility to compete even to the one that are so small, because automatic AI based predictive advertising as well, not only price adjustment and suggestion, targeting small hotels.
Got it. Got it. Right. This is fun, guys. This is funny because this is something that repeating every year. So that's the way I do booking. I search hotel on booking.com. I copy paste, the Billboard effect. We know how it works. Find the hotel website, check the dates. Then I call and speak at the reception, and I always 7 times out of 10 getting a higher price to what I see on Booking.com. And even if I explain by phone, hey guys, I'm from the industry. I know you are working on this price on Booking.com and pay 20%. Why are offering me to a higher price? You want me to go back to Booking and book? The answer is always yes, sir. Please go back to Booking.com. Why this is still happening today, Adrian?
Because
I don't know in
uh,
Paris. I don't know in Paris, but
no, it's okay. I can. Don't worry. I'm very fortunate to have clients all over the world, and I can relate on this. I will say that to me, when that happens, it's because the people that decide of the rates and the people that you have on the phone at the reception, they don't care about that reality. They might have objectives, or they might not have objectives, but it's definitely not their money, and that's
probably the second option. They don't have an objective.
absolutely. But it's basically not their money, if you ask me. And so the problem usually is about management within the structure to make sure that if there is a strategy, but there is always a strategy, but it's not always put in place, it's not always understood, and it's not always up to the receptionist to give you that fair discount. So most of the time, if you find this, that means that there is room for evangelization on the market. There is room for talk shows like this one also because it still is relevant even though it's been 20 years that we do this and we explain the importance of direct distribution. No, that's still true because the power of those distributors is super big. It's so big that many hotels, in the end, they just rely on that to just sell the rooms, and the direct distribution is a rich man's problem. It should not be, but many hotels think that. Many hotels turn to me and they say, Adrian, I will I will take care of my direct distribution when I have 90% occupancy. And I tell them, you should not wait because you will be dead.
You know when this happened, many cases was an hotel chain. Because I remember in more than one occasion, the feedback from the reception was, I cannot change the price, I cannot discount the price more than that. I have a block on my property management system.
Yeah.
And in general, those type of processes are in place when an hotel is part of a brand, a global brand, a chain, and so on. Did you face those situations, Pier Giorgio, Nicola? Ever?
Yeah, can be, as you say, also a matter of procedures. And I think that the end of the point, even is it right in 2024 that there is a person that's doing a check-in and the meantime is getting a complaint and then after is on the phone selling the room? No, this is it's also a big point. For sure, I have a chance to be in a lot of hotels and doing all these things, maybe selling the room at the right price is maybe the last of the task of the list of a person that's at the reception. But from this point of view, I think that as a strategy, we are ready forward. A lot of hotels already have in place a strategy for the direct. It's more like Adrian was saying of putting it in place. And in this, technology will help even more because I think that today, yeah, if I would have an hotel, I will concentrate more the workforce on the relation with the clients, no staying face to face and using always more technology to manage things that can be automated in the sense that they will be done better. So I will be more sure that if I decide that a direct booking must have a discount under certain conditions, it will be done. And I'm pretty sure that in this field, with the technology, there will be a very strong change in the next years.
I like this Alberto comment. The price is higher because the reception is not authorized and trained to manage price, and sometimes they are lazy. Do you agree
Yeah.
with that, Nicola?
Yeah, this is one of the greatest problem, surely. And the second step, I see by figures we do have thanks to a price comparison widget. On average, in our portfolio, we see 27-30% of discrepancy in pricing with the main OTAs and direct sales. So figures are a little bit better. Now depends by the type of portfolio. But however, it's too much, and it means the strategy, the control, and because price management is the most important. Clients, they are considering your price as one of the most important contents. They evaluated the hotel because of the price. The positioning of the hotel is the price. Offering a direct price more expensive than an OTA, it's the worst you can do. You know, and
Incredible.
it's incredible, and but it's so common. It's very. It's a matter
So
also,
true.
as Adrian and Pier Giorgio they said.
I think if we Google it now, we will find a couple around us.
I will believe me. One day I organize a live streaming and I do real time phone call, and I will put the microphone on
I want
and
to be invited when you will do it.
let's make it because really you will listen things incredible. And if you call the same hotel in different time, you have different feedback from three different receptionists. This is also
Yeah.
the worst scenario. I mean, there is no
But
process
I
in
think that
place.
what Alberto was saying is a matter of training, and I'm totally agree. Or more than laziness is training. But the what I would say is today, would it make sense to train a person that is in the reception and should do one-to-one business and stay with the clients to be trained on something that is actually repetitive? No, it's a procedure. So I think that technology will change it. And if I would have an hotel, I would say I would prefer that my reception is there to talk with my clients rather than answering to email, which is from a technical point of view, a query and an answer to query, let's come. And then at that point is centralized. If I define that my strategy is having an X% discount, I will have it in place. And exactly what Adrian was saying before, today's not, also Nicola was saying, the disparity is not an issue big as once on the websites, but when it comes on phone call, it's a matter of procedures, put it in place. But come on, if I would be a receptionist, what do you have to do? Answer on the phone, do pricing strategy, get a complaint. If I would be an hotelier, I would say take care of the client that is in front of you. Because this, as we said at the beginning, will be your value, your USP, and clients will come back to you if they stayed well. Pricing is another thing.
Good. Right, guys. So we are almost at the end. Last question. What tricks do independent hotels save up their sleeves to compete on equal terms with OTA? Meaning, in which activity they can compete and which not? For example, mobile app, etc. Nicola.
Yes, okay. This is a good question. Let's say, mm, no,
I remember who suggests this question, but
okay. No, I see. Now, when competing with OTA at the same terms, it's not so easy, no, because there is a great difference in terms of capability, skills, budget, and so on. When competing with so great organizations, and you are an independent city hotel, 50 rooms. In some terms, you cannot, because honestly, you cannot compete on with the power of OTA apps that are so comfortable, so fast, so useful. So when people are approaching any kind of a app like that, you cannot, because an independent hotel, nobody wants download your app and so on. So no chance. On the other side, for example, loyalty. Independent hotels or even small groups, they have no chances to promote a powerful loyalty program as Booking.com they can do, and many OTAs, even B2C initiative, they can push a lot thanks to loyalty. But on the other side, you are strengthened when you promote your single hotel because you know your hotel better than them. So when you're managing with your digital agency, your internal staff, and so on, your online digital marketing, you have more content to promote because you know very well your territory, your zone, your property. So by your side, you have the possibility to run more effective digital marketing campaigns. As you know, OTAs they do simply duplicate ads. It's a kind, of format. Bam, 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 bam. All hotels are promoted in the same way with the same even look and feel, while you can really customize your communication. This is where you can face them and really get a good outcome comparing to the OTA. You cannot on loyalty, and by my point, you cannot on mobile.
see, I see. Adrian.
I completely agree with Nicola. I will go even further, is to say, for example, social media is definitely one aspect where, as an independent hotel, you can be more impactful than an OTA because the OTA is always will communicate about the destination, but you will communicate about what's happening on the destination. So you need to think about how is your property with regards to some kind of niche marketing. You have some adventure travelers or maybe some specific pet owners or some wellness enthusiasts, and these people they cannot interact with the OTAs because of those reasons. So as an independent hotel, you should try to understand that if you have something specific, and you always have something specific, that will be your strength. It will be your strength in your own distribution for your direct distribution, and it will be your strength for versus your other competitors, the other properties. Social media is always a good thing. Digital marketing in general, like Nicola said, the website, definitely the website, because on the OTAs you book a price. On the website you book a room, a rate, an experience, which is really different because you have pictures, you have videos, you have the whole package. On the OTA, you have a serial number, and that's it.
Good, good. See. Pier Giorgio.
Yes, yes, I like very much the point of view, and yeah, I will follow the flow, saying that for me we will talk about standardization, which is OTA, is their strength versus customization. And I totally agree that customization is the point, no? Getting a special an experience, as Adrian would say, and not just a room. And but I think that this has to go through all the value chain. Is the reason why I was saying if I'm a direct booker, when I get into the hotel, I must feel the if I have a person that said the check-in and makes me feel special, I will tend to buy more direct. Indeed, if I know that there's a very special room that I like and that I cannot get in on booking.com, the next time that will come, I will book direct. This is when I say that the personalization has to go through all the value chain. For example, it happened to me to see some time ago, especially even in a very important chain, that there was this very thing that I could understand on a tactic point of view, but was crazy because the hotel manager, his KPI was the brand reputation on OTAs. For what he was doing, he was giving VIP treatment to the clients from Booking.com Expedia, which, yes, on one side, it will raise the value, the brand reputation in these OTAs. But in the long term, will give me as a client the signal that if I book there, I get better conditions. And this, I think, it breaks the circle of trust and the value of the product. So when I say that personalization is totally important. It's important, as you say, on the website, in revenue management, but also inside hotel during the experience. I think that the big effort is having, let's say, the red carpet for the direct clients, which actually are the clients of the hotels. The other are just clients of OTA that are borrowed to the hotel. So this is my point of view.
Guys, it was very nice today. Let me tell you, very dynamic this conversation. Thank you so much for your. Believe if I open a hotel, I want the three of you guys setting up for me the strategy.
Oh, you don't have enough budget, huh?
I have a very limited budget actually. And, you know what? So my last question, but this is not part of the agenda. So, what's your plan for those Christmas? This Christmas, New Year's Eve? Are you planning anything? Share with us. Let us know if you have some nice idea. Maybe we can copy paste. Yeah.
I can start from a very bad and not so nice idea, but since I guess also many of you, the quarter four is full of trade shows. I've been all around the world in a lot of hotels, nice places. Last week in Cannes, I really looking forward to stay in my home with my family, and
Chama,
they will finally see me. So it's not touristic, but I've been all around for the last 3 months, so I'm looking forward for this.
Do the same.
Thanks, Alberto. Enzo is nasty with question, guys.
Yeah, it
Nicola,
is.
what you doing Christmas? What's your
Well,
doing?
family, 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 no business. Just
La famiglia.
stopping a bit, because too much business during last month as well, and supporting clients on Christmas, December the 25th, because they call somehow any kind of issue, ready, always on at the same time, always on. No,
Always on. Hadrian, you are lucky because you're living in one of the country famous for wine,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Don't forget, these guys are sitting one in Rome, one in Florence. I think they're having a good experience. I mean, what's your best wine, Hadrian? Italian or French?
Ooh.
Tricky
Okay.
question.
Yeah, it's an impossible question because as a French person, I need to say French. But if I were Italian, I would say Italian because I think that there have been so many progress by so many countries over all the world. Argentinian wines are amazing. Chilean ones are amazing also. So I think it really depends on the dish. And
Bravo. I agree. I agree with you. Totally.
I cannot eat pasta without an Italian wine.
And a nice
So
Chianti.
yeah, a nice Valpolicella or something like that, something very
Yeah,
very
yeah.
light
One of my
with
favorites. One of my
yeah.
favorites.
So French wine definitely yes, but for some dishes it needs to be adapted. Red,
Look how polite
white.
is Adrian. He's very, very
No,
Mm,
it's
polite. Very,
true. It's
diplomatic.
true. It's true. It's definitely true. And I enjoy beer also because, for example, I think that it's also easy to have beer with friends and with colleagues.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely. And German beers are good too. Belgian beers.
well,
No, I'm
sometimes the German
I
wine.
will add, since it's New Year's Eve shortly, French champagne is still number one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. French
Champagne
champagne.
is champagne.
yeah,
Champagne is
but
champagne.
champagne is champagne.
Giorgio is
Champagne is
a
champagne.
champagne-based consultant and professional. A minimum is due per day, to keep
Let's
it.
say the French people are much better in selling sparkling wine than Italian. That's the truth.
That's
They
true.
do
That's
marketing better. They do marketing better.
Ah.
That's true.
All right. Last things, I want to thank also other colleagues out of this stage. I received different books this year. I never start to read one, honestly. Probably I will start during my vacation. So this is some suggestion for the audience. You want to know more about ancillary revenue? This is a book from Pablo Torres. I just received it the other day. This is an English version. Then I have this very interesting, and I didn't start yet. Sorry, Maurizio, if I didn't provide you feedback. This is about ogni recensione merita una risposta memorabile. This is an Italian book. It's about how to manage the best way to answer a review. So how you can increase your reputation. And this is
Ciao
an Italian
Maurizio.
version.
I saw him chatting before.
Then I have this L'arte del revenue del mio amigo Diego Fernandez, the CEO of Port Hotels. This is a Spanish one, but you can find it also in English. This is very heavy, guys. I think I start this
It's
Christmas.
maybe for the summer,
I
summer
will end it
vacation.
up next Christmas. And the last one, this is actually a book that was suggested to me by Fernando Vives. Hi, Fernando, if you are watching us. Game Changer. This is out of the hospitality, but I strongly recommend any revenue manager to read this book, Game Changer.
I have
Uh,
to.
Very interesting. This is an English one. All right, guys. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks, Nicola. Thanks, Pier Giorgio. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you back again on my stage, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I wish you great holidays and a happy New Year.
Thank
Merry
you.
Thanks to you,
Christmas.
Bye
Thanks
Enzo.
so
bye.
much.
Ciao a
Ciao
tutti.
Adrian, ciao
Happy
Nicola.
Christmas.
Ciao per
Ciao a
Giorgio.
tutti.
Ciao
Ciao Pier
Nicola.
Giorgio. Ciao Adrian.